Amazon crew. The Amazon crew.
So welcome to the Amazon Crew episode 3. Here we are, and the first topic for discussion, moving to start a new life abroad as a digital nomad. A cool thing to do or cope for people who have no friends in the UK? Discuss.
I I always have kind of these dreams of moving away to a tax-free country sometimes, and just living out the rest of my life, not having to do anything. Maybe going to like the Philippines or something and just piss chilling in a mansion forever. You know, uh, but what always brings me back to reality is, I have family here, I have friends. I mean, it's convenient that I can walk to Tesco and come back with whatever I want. It's expensive and I pay a lot of tax, but actually, in my house I feel very safe. I don't feel like I'm gonna get robbed. I feel like if I call the police, they're not gonna try and extort me. I mean, like a weird story about that is, for those who don't know, I used to live in South Africa for about 4 years. And the police there are very, very corrupt. And once the police pulled my mum over and just asked her, "Oh, do you have any drinks?" And my mum goes, "Yeah, I just been to the supermarket. I bought some Cokes." And the guy's like, "Oh, okay, can I have one?" And he just takes one and just leaves. They're like, it's just like, instead of going to the shop, you just pull someone over for a drink.
Well, I wonder what would have happened if she didn't have any drinks.
I'm
Who
sure he would have
knows?
found something in the car. But yeah, it's that type of stuff you don't really buy here. And I mean, you can say what you want about the police here, but they're probably not going to like arrest you for not giving them a can of Coke.
If you write some mean tweets, you might get a knock on your door. But
Yeah, that is true. So what do you guys think about being a digital nomad?
I'm still thinking. Conza, what do you think?
I'm understanding like Gage saying it's kind of like the dream, move away, nice hot sunny place, mansion for cheap. But realistically with us, if you're comfortable in the UK and you're at a level where you're doing well on Amazon, it's self-sufficient almost, you can really just book a flight the next day and fuck off somewhere if you're really that desperate. I don't really see the need to move halfway across the world with no one with you, living in a room by yourself. It's like you're trying to get away from something you don't have.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I mean, I love my life in the UK. I've really good friends. I see pretty often, play football. Yeah, and I've obviously got a couple of businesses going, which I really enjoy doing. And yeah, so I'm going to Turkey in a couple of weeks. I literally booked it this week, and yeah, I'm going for 5 days of sun. But whenever I go away towards the end of it, I always look forward to coming home because I'm looking forward to seeing friends, seeing family, like getting back into my routine and things like that. And I think, yeah, like obviously it seems like the cool thing to do. There's obviously a lot of people on Twitter who do it, but I do get the impression that it's kind of like when you look at Instagram and you're seeing the highlights of everyone's life. So like, yeah, like it does look cool, yeah, going out and having like £2 steak or like living in a really cool house and everything like that. But yeah, that's like those are the highlights. Like I'd be interested to see some of the lowlights because like it's not all sunshine and rainbows. I'm sure there are other things going on, and like I enjoy going away to kind of have to unwind and get away from sort of the routine of like working on the business and stuff like that. But like if going away becomes your new normal, how do you get away from that? Like I always think that not that you need something to get away from, but it's just nice to mix things up a bit, I think. So yeah, I think I am going to start going away more, but it's always going to be kind of a little long weekend here, maybe a week there, rather than sort of going completely uplifting my life for no real reason because I'm perfectly happy, to be honest.
I always have this image in my head when I think about moving away is there's this really nice place in South Africa called Port Alfred, and it's like loads of mansions just along the sea. So you can walk out your back garden and just go fishing. Like
Mm.
the water's right there. And I just think, wouldn't it be nice, wake up in the morning, have a coffee, go with my laptop outside and do a bit of work. But in actual reality, I mean, I'm going to go outside. It's going to be some fucking mosquitoes. The sun's going to do the thing where it blocks what you can see on the screen. You get that reflection. I'm just going to go inside again. And then it's going to be like, why aren't I just here? But I think in the future, if I'm very wealthy, I wouldn't mind having a house here and a house over there,
Mm.
and then kind of switching between them, which I think would be quite nice.
Yeah.
Because where South Africa's on the other side of the equator, when it's summer here, it's winter there. So you could just have summer all year round.
Yeah, that's a good shout. There's a guy I play football with who he's got a holiday home in Florida, which is really cool. So and every year he invites like sort of the football lads over, and like sort of anywhere between sort of 5 and 15 people go. It's like 6 bedrooms, like there's a golf course right next to it. It's got a pool, and it's just brilliant. Yeah, and you go over there sort of March time. We usually go. It's like mid 20 degrees. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, that really does sound appealing. Yeah, the cool thing seems to be sort of like almost like third world type countries, though. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think I'd rather stick to sort of like first world problems, I guess. But yeah, but I haven't really done that much traveling, to be honest. So yeah, you guys maybe have better experiences, but yeah, I'm happy 90% of the time being in the UK, even though it's pretty uncool to say that on Twitter.
Are you a big traveller, Conza?
Not really, and I should be with the amount of Amex points I've got. But no, the last time I went on holiday was January. I was a bit sick of Amazon after Q4 and just thought I needed the break. So I think just went on the internet, booked a flight for the next day to Tenerife,
Wow.
booked a hotel for 5 days and just went out. Because like I was saying, if you're at that point where you can do that, why not?
Mm.
Just get away when you want rather than permanently being away.
I guess just trailing back to what Ben said about wanting to go to like a first world rather than a third world, I think the big appeal is just how cheap it is.
Yeah.
Like you move somewhere, you can get a maid, a cook for next to nothing. You just literally do nothing every day for next to no money. But then I
I mean,
wouldn't want to go live in America.
you could still do that in the UK. Like you could get a maid and stuff like that. It's just cheaper.
Yeah, you got to pay them like the maid probably £15 an hour. I don't know, maybe 10. But the chef is not going to be cheap.
No.
I mean, you can even get 2 in 1 in South Africa. You can have the maid who is also the cook, who is also the nanny.
Just puts on a different outfit each time.
Yeah. No, it's just different out there. So I mean, I saw on Twitter the other day of this. You just get like when you're on Money Twitter, just inspirational shit, and then sometimes tweets about the gym or whatever. And I saw this tweet about the gym, and it was this thread, and I was reading it, and something really interesting, at least I found really interesting, was in it, and it says, how many more reps do you think you could do if someone had a gun to your head? Right? But like I get it's a ridiculous thing to say, but when you really think about it, you definitely could do more reps. You may think you're like working as hard as you could in the gym, but if someone was right there with a gun pressed against your temple, you'd do 2 more, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So that's kind of been my new approach at the gym, is like, instead of just stopping when I feel like I need to stop, I just imagine someone's going to fucking shoot me if I don't do 2 more. And it's Like it's really working. Like I'm so sore the next day after the gym, and like I can tell it's. Well, I can tell it's working, and I just thought it was a really odd concept of like, yeah,
I guess
imagine being able to
not
die.
all sort of training routines or whatever have you training to failure each time. But I guess if that's something that you do, then yeah, no, that's yeah, I'll have to try that. I mean, it'd be more fun to try in real life. We probably would have to go to a third world country. It's probably normal over there. That's why they're all so jacked. No, that's interesting. There's been some interesting takes on Money Twitter in the last week or so. Are either of you raw onion maxing?
I'm not familiar with that.
No, I
So
don't know.
so apparently, yeah, if you eating raw onions like massively boosts your testosterone, supposedly.
Wow.
So yes, I think someone ate like 8 raw onions a day for like 3 months or 6 months or something, and kept like other variables the same, and yeah, his testosterone was off the charts, as was his stinky breath, I would imagine.
Yeah, 8 raw onions.
Yeah.
Can you fucking
I mean,
imagine?
how are you eating them like apples? Are you just chopping them up and mixing them up with other stuff? I have several questions, but yeah, the results are quite interesting. So
No, but I mean, what is the point of having high testosterone if no one wants to come within 2 meters of you?
well, that's a new way of social distancing because you'd smell so bad, no one will come near you.
That has to be bait. That cannot be a real post. Because I mean, just think about it. That many onions, your breath wouldn't stink. Your whole body would stink.
Yeah.
You begin sweating onion juice. There's just no way for 3 months he was just in solitude.
Shall I try it? This can be the Amazon crew's first scientific experiment of many. We can do several others. So yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm going to eat a raw onion every day this week until we record our next episode. Thankfully, we're doing these episodes over video, not in person. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't last very long. Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Best of luck to you, Ben. Please, I do not want to see you.
Okay, I
won't
come down.
Challenge.
I won't come down to the prep centre then. Unlike your mum who came down and visited. That was very random.
Yeah. She was just interested to see the place. I hope I wasn't even there, so I hope Alex gave her a nice tour and nothing else. I saw. I think the worst thing I've seen on Money Twitter was someone that said that sun cream causes skin cancer. And his reasoning behind it was even better, right? He showed a chart that showed like 80 to 100 years ago, a chart of how skin cancer has got more prevalent today than it was 100 years ago, and then also a chart showing like the use of sun cream, and then was like, yeah, you see, when people didn't use sun cream, there was no skin cancer. But it just people didn't know skin cancer was a thing. People weren't going to the doctor. Like there weren't tests for it. I mean,
So I agree that that's a silly reason. Like that's correlation, not necessarily causation. But
Yeah.
I actually do. Like, I think there's some truth in this. It's down to diet, bro. It's all about the seed oils.
do you believe that it causes cancer? Because I can see the argument for saying that you shouldn't put on sun cream, because you get the vitamins and stuff.
There's literally a bunch of sun creams that were recalled because they've got this benzo something or other. It's got like I don't think. I mean, slapping a load of random chemicals that you can't even pronounce onto your skin, which is the most like absorbent part of your body, that can't be good for you. So yeah. I think there is some merit to it. Thankfully I've got my nan's Italian skin, so I don't use sun cream. So we'll see when I come back from Turkey. If I'm completely red, I'll be like, oh yeah, well at least I got skin cancer from the sun and not. So that can be another. That can be another experiment. I won't use sun cream and let's see if I get skin cancer. Give it a go. But yeah, I do think there's some truth in that.
Speaking of getting cancer from weird chemicals. There was a point where I was really addicted to these Chinese crisps, and they were like, I had no idea what they were. They just had like, they looked like potatoes, and the packet was just like smiley faces, really weird. And you just buy it from the Chinese market where I lived. And one day I looked at the back of the packaging, and it literally said, "Warning: causes cancer."
Brilliant.
And the like the fact it had a chemical in it that caused cancer, and they were still selling it, and and they were delicious. Yeah, very, very, very odd. And when I found that out, I only ate one more packet, and then I stopped for good.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but I had something the other week, and it was like, this product has been banned in California because some of the chemicals have been found to cause cancer, but it's fine everywhere else.
That's pretty random.
Yeah.
I mean, it's scary that you have to look at the packet to find out that something causes cancer.
Yeah,
Very, very
there's
odd.
a lot of interesting, jumping to conclusions and stuff. But I think that there is some merit in it because, like, yeah, well, the like seed oils are pretty. The research is all out there to say that it's pretty much bad. It's kind of like an industrial waste product that they've kind of remarketed as, oh yeah, you can cook your food with this, and yeah, it's then obviously a lot of diseases have increased over the last however many years since it's been in use, but it could be correlation, not causation, who knows. But
The one conspiracy theory Ben has told me that I actually followed through with was the seed oils, and now I only cook things with avocado oil.
good
I'm the
man.
same. Yeah, I hate using it now. If my
Mm.
mom uses it, I'm just like, oh, fuck's sake. I always try to use olive oil now.
It makes you feel like when you go off it and then you have it again, it makes you feel greasy. Like it's like drinking oil, because it is oil.
Yeah, and a lot of people who I've seen quite a few people saying that the food in the USA compared to UK and Europe is so different. Like everything in the USA tastes completely artificial, and like there's people from the US saying, oh, in the USA I'm like gluten intolerant, this intolerant, that intolerant. When they come to Europe, they can eat all that stuff because it's like less processed and it's got less shit in it. So yeah, it is. You do wonder what's going on over the pond, but
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen the prices of avocado oil versus seed oils though, but it's fucking insane. Like you can get a 2 litre bottle of oil for 95p, and 150 ml bottle of avocado oil, it's like £4.50. So no regular person like can ever make the switch. I mean, it's just so much more expensive.
It's because it's literally just a waste product that they've rebranded, I think. Because I think that the guy who created like vegetable oil or whatever, there was some scientist, and I can't remember what it was they were making, but yeah, there was like everything was reused apart from this. And then he was like, what's that smoke coming out of the top of the factory or whatever? And then it was like, oh, it's this waste product. And then it was like, well, why are we not using it? So yeah, they condensed it into what now people eat and consume up and down the world. So yeah, that may or may not be true. I may have pulled that out of my ass, but yeah, there's definitely some elements of truth to that. I'll have to go away and do some research while I'm eating my raw onions next week. Anyway, should we talk about Amazon? That's
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Q. But by the time this episode comes out, Q4 will be almost upon us. Are you doing anything differently, or are you planning to do anything differently to what you did last year?
Conza.
I've got my first product that I know I'm definitely going to be stocking up for Q4, because they're just flying out. I won't say it obviously, but I made about $2,000 off of them yesterday. I know the supply of them is very, very short, but I can still get them.
That sounds good. Is it like a seasonal product? I guess not if it's selling well
No,
now.
it's all year round. It's just there's no supply of them.
I'm gonna expose his product right now. It's little turtles that it's actually a big turtle that poos on the toilet.
Yeah, that's
I've seen that one.
I've still got some of those fuckers left from last
So
Christmas.
I-
I, I mean, I'd never seen them before, but I was walking around the warehouse last week and I saw this like turtle sitting on the toilet. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, oh yeah, it's this hot children's toy. And like you press it and it goes, oh, I'm making a poo. Oh, I'm shitting on the toilet. I'm a turtle. Like, it's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, it's that was a spin-off of the Gotta Go Flamingo, I believe, which was
Yeah.
the OG creature shitting on toilet. That sings a little song. It's oh, gotta go. Literally, there's a YouTube video of it. It's haunting.
I mean, were we that stupid as children that we would have enjoyed that? Because I'd like to think I wasn't.
No, I don't think so.
What toys did you have as a kid?
I loved Beyblades. That was
What
my
the fuck
thing.
is that? Is this a boomer moment?
Yeah, yeah, but the
Fucking
problem
hell.
is, I think the people listening are more your age, Ben. So I'm probably going to need to explain the Beyblades anyway. They're just like spinning top.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're just like spinning tops.
Interesting.
That's what I liked.
Yeah, well, back in my day, it was yeah, it was Action Man, Pogs, and yeah, yo-yos.
Yo-yos.
Yeah, used to love it. I X-Brain, Bush. Do
Did
the
you
old,
do any
walk
tricks?
yeah, I could walk the dog, do a little cradle thing. Oh, I can't remember what the names of the other ones were. Yeah, you never yo-yoed. You've missed
No,
it.
I've yo-yoed.
yo-yo,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
who hasn't? I mean, I feel like that the yo-yo. Actually, I haven't seen a kid with a yo-yo
Hmm.
in a while.
Well,
But to be fair, I
that's
don't encounter many children.
well, I mean, most kids now are just given an iPad, and that's like their basically that's their childcare. Basically, it's quite scary. Like, yeah, it's quite rare to see kids like out in a park playing or whatever.
At what age would you give your child a phone?
Hmm.
Like 10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at
That's
least.
reasonable.
Because I think by the time they go to like secondary school, they're like 11,
Yeah,
and
everyone's gonna
everyone
have them
else,
then.
yeah, and then you're just a weirdo if you don't.
Yeah,
Social outcast.
not necessarily a bad thing to be a social outcast.
But it feels young, doesn't it? To have a phone. But
Mm.
I'm sure like 6-year-olds they want phones nowadays.
Yeah, definitely. I've had that.
And have you seen if you ask children now to like pull up the signal of a phone, they'll do the one like it's so like if I asked you to pull up a symbol to show that you were on the phone, you'd put the pinky by your mouth and the thumb
Yeah.
by your ear. But now they'll just do a flat hand to
That's
their
interesting.
ear. Yeah,
Mm.
because it's just like the iPhone. I mean, yeah, it's interesting seeing like generational changes. Because I mean, you wouldn't think twice if I was like pull up a symbol of a phone. You would not put a flat hand to your face.
Yeah, that's just strange, but I guess that's all they've ever known.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Feel old yet?
what's that?
Feel old yet?
Yeah, well, always when I'm talking to you. But yeah, it is strange, isn't it? I feel like I was kind of the last generation that lived like part of the childhood or whatever, kind of before phones and before even really the internet really hit off, which is quite cool. You literally used to go and play football with my mates down the park, and mum would just say, "Oh, come back before dark" or whatever, and just so much more like trust and I guess yeah, because now you can like if your kid's got a phone, you can like track where they are and shit like that. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I guess the new normal, if you want to call it that, is just kids surrounded by devices and social media and stuff. But what's interesting is that all the like the big dogs of all the sort of technology companies, they don't like their kids using their products. So like I think it's like Bill Gates's kids, like he doesn't no Steve Jobs, sorry, like he doesn't let his kids have an iPad and stuff like that and all stuff like that because they know and I think Zuckerberg like doesn't want his kids using social media because they know how like addictive and how much it can change people's personalities. Their own products are. So it's sort of producing it for the masses, but because they know the effect it can have, they don't want their own using it, which I think is quite interesting.
So what am I doing for Q4, and am I doing anything differently? I feel like we're really struggling to talk about Amazon this episode.
Yeah.
So for Q4 for me, I think we'll start with what I did last year. I did very little planning. I just kind of capitalized on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and just did regular, no changes other than that. This year, I do plan to do a little bit more preparation, so buying a few things for the Christmas period, not necessarily toys, but probably other things that I won't mention. But yeah, seasonal goods that now I'm fortunate enough to own a warehouse. I can just leave it there for a little bit and just send it in at the right time. It's not going to take too much of my capital, but I think it will pay off quite nicely.
That sounds
What
good.
about
Yeah.
you, Ben?
So yeah, I'm pretty much going to play it the same as last year, which is not even really think about it until sort of November time, where, as you say, yeah, you got Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Because yeah, I remember this time last year, I was like really thinking, oh, what can I buy and hold, da da da. But I mean, if the average sort of turnaround, if you're buying a month's worth of stock, is sort of 4 to 6 weeks to get your money out, I mean, you can still do one more rotation of your capital before you really need to think about it. But I remember there being so many A2A opportunities around November last year, and even early December, for toys and things, because you have to remember that Amazon price matches a bunch of retailers. So when stores have a sale on, Amazon are probably going to price match them. And if that's the case, then you can just buy from Amazon, because it's a lot easier to buy higher quantities with Amazon than it is at other retailers, and obviously less effort as well. So yeah, I'm going to be looking to do a lot of Amazon to Amazon. But yeah, for the next month or so, it's just gonna be business as usual, really, just with the standard OA stuff with a bit of A2A mixed in. And yeah, I remember as well this time last year being really concerned about Amazon check-in times for around Q4. Because I mean, at the moment we're what, at the end of September. I mean, check-in times are pretty slow for me. Is it the same for you guys?
Yeah, pretty slow.
But last December, I couldn't believe how quick it was. I think they must have hired a bunch of temporary staff over December just to make sure that stuff was getting in. Like, I was sending stuff in mid-December and it was getting checked in within a couple of days. So yeah, I know some people who sent their Christmas stock in as early as October just to make sure that it all got in, but that was really unnecessary. So hopefully it'll be similar this year. But it'd be nice if they could just be 2-3 day check-in times all year round, wouldn't it? But that'd be a pipe dream.
Just wait until monkeypox greets us this Christmas and the whole Amazon FC is shut down.
There's a very certain demographic that monkeypox circulates in. I don't think, I think we'll be all right. But, yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Well, we've actually had some interesting things happen at the prep center recently. We've hired someone who is older than Ben.
Wow.
There are people out there that are older than me.
You know, he needs a bit of help walking around. He's got his cane and stuff. He is 38,
Oh,
but he's getting to grips with it.
and we've got a couple of girls on the books as well, haven't we? We've got a very diverse workforce.
Yeah, I mean we're trying to keep it 2022 up in the warehouse for sure. And what's really nice is I know other prep centers have been having issues where their UPS collections aren't coming. They're saying like, oh, you know, you have too many parcels. We have such great relationships with the drivers. I think on one episode I said he sold one of our employees cigarettes and whatever. you know, they'll just come like even when they're not meant to, just to make sure that all of our parcels go out every day. And yeah, it's really nice. I think you should visit the warehouse, Conza. Just come down when your Tesla's fixed.
It's a bit far.
Yeah, literally
Oh,
one end of the
you
country to the other.
yeah, you live in Scotland.
Yeah, Glasgow. It's only a few hundred miles.
Oh my god. Yeah, so from one end of the country to the other. It'd make a good YouTube video though. I'd watch that.
Mm.
Yeah.
EV trip from one side of England to the other.
Yeah,
And
time
then
lapse.
you're not allowed to use public charging. You have to bring a diesel generator to charge your car. And you're not allowed to stay anywhere either. You have to camp in the car. That's
Correct.
the challenge.
Yeah. That's a million views guaranteed.
I saw one guy, he made a video of going to France on an electric scooter that he was only allowed to charge with a diesel generator.
Also, he was carrying the diesel generator on the scooter. Wow.
Yes, and was not allowed to stay anywhere. He just had to like camp. It took him days, but I guess the YouTube revenue was worth it.
That's a bit mental.
But I guess, you know, with the amount of money we make from this podcast on only a few hundred views, I mean, can you imagine his 100,000 views? Christ.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Tesla for each day of the week soon when this kicks off. But yeah, I'm 34 on Tuesday, so yeah, when this podcast comes out, yeah, officially mid-30s, which is pretty tragic. But there's a guy that my football team Wolves have just signed called Diego Costa, and he looks about 50, like, but he is 34 early October, so I am older than him. Google this guy, Diego Costa. When I found out I was older than him, I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I have definitely heard the name before.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, his face does look very leathery, is the way I would describe it.
He's an absolute bastard as well. He's like really aggressive and things like that. But he's a funny character. He played for Chelsea a few years ago. But yeah, I assumed he was like pushing 40, but yeah, apparently not. And maybe he's managed to get one of those fake passports or something. Who knows?
But you don't need me to tell you that you look good for your age. I think your Tinder matches do that enough for you.
Yeah, well, I've got to hustle hard these next couple of days because yeah, if there's girls who have 33 as their max age, I'm going to drop off their radar. So,
what is your secret to Tinder, Ben? It seems like, judging from your Twitter, that it's just non-stop for you.
basically, be tall. That is the secret. Because yeah, literally height seems to be the most important thing for girls. It's like one thing that's easily just like filterable. So yeah, sorry manlets. Yeah, the 6'3" chads are taking all the girls. But yeah, it is just, yeah, if you've got, I mean, you need photos. Like there is a bit of a formula to it. Like if you're tall, that's like you've been, yeah, you've lucked out really. And yeah, with like decent range of photos, a photo with you with other people to show that you're not just like just live in your mum's basement or whatever. And yeah, just having a sense of humor is helps. Although I mean, who can I like? I'm single, so yeah, clearly it hasn't worked out that well for me. So I don't know why probably shouldn't be giving advice on it. But yeah, hopefully, yeah, I'm sure the arbitrage queen is out there somewhere.
You'll find her one day, Ben. She'll be selling chocolate oranges. She'll be on the listing, tanking it.
But you'll be amazed at the number of profiles you see where it's like, oh, if you're under 6 foot, no need to apply, sort of thing. Like, and it's just like it's absolutely incredible. Whereas if a guy was, but that's normal. Like, probably that you regularly see that. Whereas as a guy, if you were to say like, oh yeah, no fat chicks, like you'd probably get cancelled. Whereas one thing is 99% of the time within your control, i.e. yeah, not being fat, and the other one is purely genetic. your height is like, yeah, luck of the draws. But yeah, it's
If you
Yeah.
work out harder one day, you might be 6 foot.
yeah, get those, yeah, get on the old stretcher. Get yeah, there are obviously you can get a limb lengthening surgery. I've seen. Could be an
Don't they
option.
break your legs?
Yeah, I think they literally do. Yeah.
It must be painful.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, if you're below 6 foot, I mean, what other chance do you have of succeeding at life?
I think if you just took a picture of your Tesla, Ben, you'd be in a relationship in no time.
Yeah.
That's a real chick magnet.
Well, yeah, I want to meet someone who isn't just a gold digger, but maybe when I reach the ripe old age of 34, I need to take what I can get. So it'll just be like, yep, here's my Tesla, and yeah, here's my Stripe screenshot.
Just 2
Oh,
images.
P.S. I'm 6'3". They'll be frothing.
Yeah, 3. This is the formula. 3 images, Tesla, Stripe, you next to a ruler.
Yeah. Perfect. Oh, I'll be fighting them off.
Oh, that's good. That's
There we
good.
go. That seems like a good note to end it on. Yeah, thanks for joining us for episode 3 of the Amazon Crew. Catch you next week.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Cheers, guys.
The Amazon Crew. The Amazon Crew.